Hello class, my name is Peter Tillman and today I will be talking to you guys about overfishing. Did you know that overfishing has led to a 90% decrease in variety of different oceanic organisms? This includes tuna, marlins, swordfish, tons of species. In a study conducted by Nain Law, we see the drastic results of overfishing, most specifically in different oceanic creatures as well as entire ecosystems, as well as how it has an effect on the human race. So, have you ever wondered how global fish markets have an effect on overfishing? Well, there's different ways global markets have a negative effect on overfishing, one of which being lower quality. So, if a price of a fish goes up, the desire to have that fish caught also goes up. So if a global market raises the price on a fish, the fish is more desired to be sought after and caught. This leads overfishing to be more desired, so more fish can be caught, ultimately leading to the end of an extinction or to the extinction of an entire species. So how does this have an effect on local and global sea organisms, especially on the global sea market? Well, if a rarity of fish goes up, as well, then so would the quality go, like the quality would go down. So what I mean by this is if the rarity of the fish goes up, that species of fish is being caught a lot and it ends up driving the quality of the fish down because all the fishermen are doing all they can to at least get their hands on one of these fish. This leads to small fish being infected with parasites or being non-edible that bypass inspection, um, and it could be very dangerous to us. So now that we know how overfishing affects not just a single species, but it affects entire ecosystems, their habitats, as well as negatively affect civilization and our atmosphere as we know it. Um, what plays a role into our civilization? Well, kelp. Kelp, for example, is overharvested, it's overfished. Many things overfished are shrimp. If not in a farm or a hatchery, shrimp are being caught wild with at least 100 pounds of other sea creatures or sea organisms, one of which including seaweed and kelp. So, why is kelp so important? Kelp is one of the main carbon intakes and saves our society from a lot of the damage from carbon emissions and from every negative thing we're doing to in our atmosphere. As you know, our ozone layer is getting depleted by the carbon intakes, and it's having a horrible effect on global warming. Well, kelp has actually saved us from a lot of that. Kelp actually stores around 170 million tons of annual carbon, around 10% of emissions of fossil fuels into our atmosphere, and much of the air we breathe today comes from the kelp that we have off the coast of Southern California. Sadly, the Southern California kelp forest has been depleted a lot. It's down, I think, more than 75 to 80% from what it was in the 1960s. And this is all from global warming and overfishing. Um, and it just takes an entire toll on not only our daily life, but marine life and ecosystems. Overfishing picks up kelp and it could wipe out entire ecosystems. This being fish rely on a habitat or a place to live. If all their kelp and their place to live is gone, they're super exposed to predators, one of which being the sea urchin, the Trabacula nabidus. This sea urchin is currently being farmed off the coast of Chile, and this is all just because overfishing is in such high demand for fish and kelp. And kelp is one of our natural carbon intakes, which is very beneficial to society, everybody's life. Um, so taking out kelp and overfishing ultimately destroys ecosystems. It destroys our daily life. It leaves species vulnerable to predators, as we talked about with the sea urchins. Um, and pretty much it is very, it has a very large effect on our life. Overfishing may have some short-term benefits for the sea market, seafood market, and it might have some short-term benefits for maybe products that are coming out or food that's being sold, but it is not stable. Um, and we need to be careful about what fish like we we catch, the amount we catch, and what the positives and negatives are of overfishing. So the effects of overfishing are mostly negative. There's not many positive besides short-term effects. But if you leave here with anything today, know that the seafood market, um, is very up and down, and overfishing can wipe out tons of fish species. It can cause species to go extinct. It takes out kelp, and that is a major necessity we need for our carbon emissions, for taking in our carbon emissions, and that we should protect our oceans with all costs. I'm Peter Tolman. Thank you.